You gotta think Satan himself has had many generations and many years and centuries to develop manipulation, being that king of deceit, using mind control and manipulation to keep the people in darkness. I think of bands like POD, who jumped off in the late 90s, early decade of the 2000s, and really represented their music. A great band in my personal opinion, when they really jumped up on a mainstream level, and in a personal interview through a magazine was open with his faith as a Christian, being a true Christian of the basic gospel faith. A lot of people jumped off that bandwagon, or should I say, jumped on that bandwagon of bashing and that whole manipulative generalization, falling victim to the world system way of thinking. But even the lead vocalist admitted in a later interview that as a born-again believer in the truth, he doesn't like to call himself a Christian anymore, because that naturally, according to today's society, puts a sour taste in people's mouth. People don't know the actual truth. People don't know the contrast of that counterfeit, whitewashed, corporate, so-called Christian mentality and the actual truth.
Yeah, you been criminal, license in California, ID sorting not illegal. Living with roommates, you can't buy with paper plates. Broke Panasonic speakers, missing playing buffet mace. Clear up your acne, girl, what? Yo, how you happy? Call police up, tell her what? How you try to smack me? I'm moving thorough on the freeway, calling you on three-way. Watching my back, got your friends all on instant replay. You say you married, so your weekend. Yo, where's your ring at? In the scope records, got your demo girl, where you sing at? Pull out your masters, your cats, all you have is cats. Pet little turtles in your bedroom, enough for headroom. Using the restroom when company come, that's your best room. I say the dope is right, you party hard, losing focus. Staring in mirrors, combing hair, with the kids on welfare. I watch your mailbox like Vietnam, guerrilla warfare. That's not your real hair, with credit cards, I don't care. Like perception, Jimmy Craig is your introduction. Volkswagen father, your 30-inch and blue stronger. You hit the Moses with chip bones, making causes. I'm outy fine. Yeah. I'm seeing robots, passing by every day. I'm seeing robots. I'm seeing robots, passing by every day. I'm seeing robots. I'm seeing robots, passing by every day.
Watch out now. Mind control. The real hardcore bands like the infamous Bad Brains have also gotten with people like POD and collaboration, seeing them as universally fellow conscious dreads like themselves, true conscious dreadlock Rastafari, and the old school punk rock reggae band that influenced many others. But is that term or that title of the overall true conscious movement of Rastafari, which enables Babylon to manipulate others to fall into that trap of labeling or generalization. For the true Rastafari, spiritually, are both true Hebrew Israelites spiritually, true original Christian spiritually, based off the original messianic faith in Yehoshua and through his imperial majesty, Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. For the true Rastafari, the true Rasta man, will not succumb to hypocrisy and propaganda in the true body of Moshiach. However, the world system, even through so-called born-again believers and hippo-Christians, will label the Rasta man, the true Rastafari, as a pothead or weed fanatic, some kind of so-called spiritual fruitcake that claims to worship a false god, when in actuality they represent. I and I represent nothing but the actual truth. So stand firm and be bold as lions. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. And what about Rastafari Makonnen himself? What about His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, crowned the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah on November 2nd, 1930 in Ethiopia, to sit upon the throne of King David and that royal throne, the true King of Kings? I ask myself, how come I never heard about this man in middle school or high school during history class when we studied about World War I and World War II? We heard about the United Nations that, ironically, come to find out in due time, His Imperial Majesty influenced and established amongst the United Nations. I never hear about His Imperial Majesty. I heard about Adolf Hitler and the Holocaust. I heard about the Axis powers. I heard about Pearl Harbor. I heard about the defeat of the Nazis and Adolf Hitler, freeing the Jewish people from the Holocaust, which is a good thing, Yah willing. But how come I never heard about His Imperial Majesty and his glory and victory over Mussolini and the Italian Brigade during the invasion of Ethiopia in that time? During the 1930s, the 1940s. How come I check out my local library right here in my hometown in America, but don't see anything about His Imperial Majesty? I'm sure it might be there if I go out of my way to look. How come it doesn't jump out during Black History Month? I hear about all these great icons and great historical men who are heroes, but you don't hear about the true King of Kings and all the great things he did, not just for Ethiopia, not just for the continent of Mother Africa, but for the entire world. Is there not some type of clear evidence that the certain powers that be go out of their way to edit certain historical facts based off divine truth? Just like when His Imperial Majesty was betrayed by his own so-called people, and that modern Judas Iscariot, Abuna Theophilus, betrayed the King of Kings in 1974, 1975, taking the original symbol of the Ethiopian flag, the symbol of the Lion of Judah, off the traditional flag. Why, might you ask, that ultimate counterfeit took over the corrupt establishment, and why there was so much poverty, Oja, in Somalia, of people starving in famine and natural disaster outside of the kingdom? Betrayed, just like Yehoshua himself. Why don't you hear about these things? Maybe because this information and actual historical facts are too powerful for the majority of the masses of people to know. According to the corrupt world system perspective. But as it is written and prophesied, the stone that the builder rejects has become the head cornerstone. And I encourage anybody, as far as new disciples who want to enter that dimension in the further revelations of His Imperial Majesty, in that particular dimension of the Moshiach, or of Christ universally, definitely make an attempt to search for yourself.